And welcome back to the US Grand Prix. Here we are with Andrea Dovizioso just behind James McNamara inside the top 10.
Anchoring in the pits, and Ratavara also pitted during the break.
Meanwhile, Sigalakis is still going. I don't think he has pitted yet. Neither is Dovizioso. So Sigalakis now up to second place. But how long is he going to stay there? Renyo up to third, which would be theoretically second. Daniel Harvey also in the pits. Following Sigalakis now through the infield section. So with that, Ben Utsa up to fourth. Renyo catching 4/10 a second per sector.
McNamara now up into 6th place.
One nice recovery. He's about 30 seconds behind everyone though. Meanwhile,
Matt Bailey making a move there. 15th place.
Indeed, he's doing a good job. Meanwhile, Huntsley, what else is there to say?
Matt Bailey moved up due to Daniel Harvey pitting.
Yeah, that is confirmed there. Harvey has indeed made his pit stop. And Sigalakis is now in the pits. So now it's a DTK 1-2 once more. Matt Bailey, ooh, runs wide. Ooh. I think that looked like a hefty hit to the wall there.
No marshmallows this time to save him.
Not enough. So let's look on board. Just heavy understeer, bit of a stick in the throttle, and bang, straight in. Wheels come off.
Well, it is his first race, so he's still unexperienced with the car.
Or maybe he's just uncertain of what happens when you have understeer or oversteer, but either way, that is not the way he wanted to end his race. But I reckon he's got a good long career ahead of him. Meanwhile, Renyo's just heading up to the scene of the crime. And Said's in the pits again. So there must be some two-stops going on. So as we look back, we are saying, oh, he had a loose wheel. That's why he had to come in. God, that would have been a hair-raising moment through that fast section of track. So now he's been serviced, he's out. Dovizioso is out as well. And Renyo is about to cross the yard of bricks once more. Oh boy. So now on board with Utsa, he's also trying the onboard selfie. God, how many people are going to try this once they find out? So towards turn 1. Just hanging on to 3rd spot, I believe. But if they want to have any chance of the constructors, he'll need to get a wriggle on.
Honestly, just dominating.
Yeah, and speaking of getting the wriggle on, he's just blazing the trail.
Hashtag 420 blaze it.
Oh yes. Meanwhile, Tom Barrett, ooh, has he got? Oh, he's got transmission problems. Ugh.
That is the 3rd retirement of the race.
The first one involving transmission. Maybe chip some gears through the fast turn 13 there.
And that is both the monsters out of the race.
Indeed so. Another dual retirement for Monster. Which is an absolute shame. They haven't really had the best of seasons, these guys. And there's confirmation. Tom Barrett out of the race. So that means there are 18 cars left on the track and 16 on the lead lap. We are Ben Utsa just arriving on the scene. Just being stagnated with the gap between him and Engering. But meanwhile, looks like McNamara having a look. Where did he come from?
He had a nice recovery after that spin, after a crash at the beginning.
Maybe he had some of those marshmallows that gave him a sugar rush.
He has had a majority of clear air as well, don't forget.
Indeed, let's not forget about the clear air. So his brakes
And I
are
think he
being
hasn't pitted yet.
He has pitted once. So we don't know if he's on a two-stop strategy. As he's looking up the outside, swoops down to the inside. Has the Cosworth engine got enough? As we got more yellow flags. And
That's hand forward.
Foro.
Try and get back.
Oh, has he got problems too? Oh, he's got a
Another
puncher.
transmission. Oh, punches.
Looks like he got a puncher, maybe some transmission as well.
What a shame. He started on the front row.
Yes, indeed. It was going to be a great race. It looks like he's probably got a puncher in the front right or left rear there. Looks to be front right, and it's caused drama. That is an absolute shame for Zenforo. He was doing pretty well to stay in the top 10 for a good deal too. He was amongst the top 5. So that makes it 5 retirements in this race. And we can confirm it was a puncher that caused the drama. And there's his teammate who probably just heard over the radio that Sen has got tyre problems. So he may want to look out himself.
Weirdly, it's not the Michelins that are going off at the Bridgestone instead.
Indeed. Maybe it could be the way that the cars are treating the tyres. Meanwhile, Boots is pulling away from McNamara, who did in fact get past Engbrink there. So with that retirement, we should know that Keren's now in the top 10. So it's now a double point scoring for 2KF1. But right now, Rinyaho just driving along. You could probably just stop off, have a cup of tea, and then just drive back on. Meanwhile, Sane.
We are 2/3 of the way through the race, boys.
One more to go.
So 18 more laps await us, and anything can happen in those 18 laps, like we have seen at Silverstone with many engines blowing up.
But this is still a 75% race. It's what the cars are fitted to do.
That is true, and this is a relatively short track compared to most.
But it does have that long straight.
Indeed it does. So the engines would be working hard through there. So we're just looking through the field, and Hunsley's looking to make some more lappings. Right up front, Andy Black's on his cunt sides.
I think I've just heard on the radio that Hunsley is coming in this lap. I might be wrong, but I think he might be coming in.
Maybe, we'll see what happens. Yep, straight on into the pits. So a couple of light fuel loads. Or is he just teasing everyone?
That would probably be his final stop of the weekend.
It should be. If he needs to do another one, I'd be absolutely surprised. So what's that mean for Renyaho?
He'll go up into the lead.
Mercedes will get himself unlapped. And Hunsley's just out of the pits now. And he retains second. So it's still a DTK1 too, no doubt. Utsa, he really needs to blaze on if he wants to get the constructors alive. And McNamara's in the pits too. No wonder he was so fast. He was on a light fuel load. So Rout Devara will move up. Deal, Kerrinan will move up as well. And McNamara, Rob Sharp will be looking to get a point too.
Into the points.
And then following that'll be Harvey and McNamara back out in 12th ahead of Nell.
And just behind Harvey. Lindner into the
Lindner.
pits.
So there were a couple of 2 stops there. No wonder there was some blazing lap times from those guys. But now, Renyoho's in the lead of the race. Could this be just some
6.4
sort of...
seconds to his teammate.
Yeah, to Hunsley probably would be nothing. But we shall see with about 16 laps to go. Through turn 5. Probably should note that both the speedies are in the top 5, Engbrink and Sigalakis. Meanwhile, Utsa heading towards the back straight. It's all sort of settled down, like everyone's finding their own space. Really?
He comes through turn 12.
Yeah, that about sums up the race at the moment. So Hunsley's just enjoying a nice drive, although he's actually got the...
He's now really on a charge. He has to overtake Renier first.
Oof.
If he
Bit
wants
of
the
battling
title.
there. McNamara and Daniel Harvey. So it is still on for McNamara to get some points. And Utsa,
Which would be a very nice recovery.
indeed it would after starting 9th place, dropping down to Deadstone last. And meanwhile, has he got up the inside yet? No, he's probably found that lower groove as well.
Maybe just because of Pavel giving enough speed. Doesn't look like it.
I mean, 2KF1 has
And
got
Harvey
decent...
keeps the place.
I mean, 2KF1's Cosworth and the Apex Yamahas are relatively close in performance terms.
I think there are some up and down the pit lane that might disagree with that. In qualifying, probably. In race trim, I don't think the cars are all that close.
Yamaha hasn't been doing that much development over the season. McNamara
much
kind of look.
It was straight up the inside.
And that really does show it down the shorter back straight. He has been able to slip through.
Maybe one's trying to be optimistic. But meanwhile, Benutza through turns 3 and 4 in a place called No Man's Land right now. He's got himself 14 seconds Hunsley to Utsa and 6 seconds Utsa to Engbrink. Down towards the back straight once more. And what Renyoho, he may want to keep his eyes out because Hunsley's catching him at 6/10 just that last sector.
And Renier, he has lap traffic to deal with as well.
I think the lap traffic will be the least of his problems. Because we'll just get the gap now.
Stayed about stable through that last sector.
Just about.
Which makes sense. Through the first two sectors is where most of the corners are, and that's where the fresh tyres will be making an impact.
Yes, they will. Meanwhile, Littner, ooh, bit of a lock up now.
Stop.
He hasn't really had the best of races, has he? I mean, going off at the so-called marshmallow turn, losing the front wing, and then having to repair that.
Sums up his whole season.
I guess we can call the corner coming up here is not really a marshmallow, it's a bit too hard. I guess it's a stale marshmallow. It's when you leave it out, you know, you don't leave them in the packet and you leave it out in the air and they go a bit dry. I think that's what's happened to that corner. It's a bit stale.
Could be. Nevertheless, Rinho catching up, I believe, Omar Said, and Hunsley 3.1 seconds behind.
7/10 that last lap.
Yeah, he's catching a rate of knots. He doesn't care. He just wants to do it in style. So now we're on board with him. Nothing out the back. Something up the front, though. And Rinho knows it now, 2.7 seconds. There he is.
Coming closer and closer.
Yeah. I mean, Hunsley's just been dominating for this whole season. There's nothing else to say. Like, good investment into the car and into training the driver. It's just like an almost foolproof package.
Yeah.
So as they head through turn 12, you can almost say that it's getting close to 2.5 seconds. But they're confirmed now. 2.2. And Rinho's got Sain to deal with now.
That might hold him up.
It could, or it could be a case of lap car carnage and take both of them out.
We saw that earlier in the season in Austria and in Hungary.
Yes, indeed. And if I remember, Pablo Diel was the lap car, which is not normal. But otherwise...
He's had many running offs in Austria. He just rejoins onto the track and Ratavara straight into the BRT.
Yeah, he was just an innocent bystander. He was just going like, oh crap. But nevertheless, here we are, USA, and Deal's 8th place at the moment, and his teammate. Now Rinho is going fully on board selfie. I think I've seen 3 so far, including this one. They're doing a good job at it.
Top 3, exactly.
You're correct about that, actually, yes. Hunsley's done it, Boots has done it, and Sain's been overtaken. Doesn't offer any resistance at all.
Well, that's good news.
Indeed, but how much resistance is he going to give Hunsley? I doubt very much. But nevertheless, he'll probably just take him with ease. So that means we have 15 cars on the lead lap with about 9 or 10 laps to go.
Not quite all of them are on the lead lap.
Yeah. And then McNamara at the inside of Rob Sharp. This is for the final points. We are up the inside, the Cosworth engine pulling its worth. Gets it done, secures a point.
Just to really feel the essence of Mr. Jimmy Ladd, it was that the engine then was really pulling its Cosworth. Please go on.
Oh god. How many jokes are we going to crack up? I doubt we're going to stop here. We've got about 9 laps to go. McNamara's just entered the points. Kerenan's got himself 2 points. And now we're looking at the back of Utz's car. Nothing really to see. We can't see Angry. About 7.2 seconds behind. And Karen looks like he's going to have a look at Deal soon. And Raul Navarro is being caught up in there. So looking at 7th, 8th and 9th, that could be a good battle to watch later on. But then this could be also the 2 DTKs. How is Rinho going to respond to this? As they head to-
Hanslick has fresher tires. He is the better driver of the 2 probably. So I doubt there's going to be much resistance. It's just a matter of time until he gets past his teammate.
Indeed. See if he has enough slipstream, looking at the back.
Not quite yet.
No, probably next lap, or even the short straight. But otherwise, it's definitely going to be a DTK 1-2, unless anything unexpected pops up.
Oh, they have their lucky charm on the front wing.
The Lucky Charms. And a bit of El Del Paso. Getting some good footage of these guys though. Hunsley looking one way then the other. I mean, we can almost just guarantee these guys are going to finish 1-2. Let's not forget they developed very reliable components for the car.
But of course, reliability has nothing to do with crashes.
Yeah, those unpredictable gremlins.
Both of them won the title.
Both of them indeed. But really, who wants it more? Looks like Hunsley really wants it. As we're on board with him now. Got 7 laps to go. And we've got Elite 2 car up in front as well. That'd be Dovizioso. So this could be interesting.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dovizioso was one of the lapped cars that caused a bit of controversy in Silverstone. Or am I wrong?
I'm not 100% sure. He could have caused some carnage.
I think it was Rob
I
Sharp.
remember he was lost somewhere. At one
Down the
point.
inside.
Oh, Rinho's run
and he goes
wide.
up
Into the wall.
out of the race.
Not quite yet. He may have got some damage, but it's not terminal, it looks like. Oh!
Almost
Nearly
takes
takes out.
Lindner.
Yeah, so what has happened here? I'll try and get the replay for you. He hasn't got a problem, it looks like he just ran wide. So he must have hit some of the fresh... Oh! Must have hit some of the fresher marshmallows there. Let's have a look at Lintner's.
Nice reactions.
Yeah, it actually looks closer on board Rinho, but let's have a look at this.
We can bring you now slow motion technology.
Here he comes. Oh.
Bit of a lock-up, I think he saw him coming.
Yeah. How close was that? About half a foot?
Luckily for him,
I'm
he's
thinking
still
it was
in
a
second
half
place.
a holy crap.
I think it's a whole of a holy crap.
All I'm going to say is I'm thankful I'm not cleaning that car up after the race.
Well, sorry lad, we got some dramas.
Yeah, go clean that one up, right?
But nevertheless, Hunsley's now the leader. Utsu's caught up a good chunk of that gap, but I doubt
Probably not enough.
with 6 laps to go he's going to make a second and a bit per lap. But still looking at 7th, 8th and 9th, they're still about half a second apiece. Here we are, Route to Vara, couple of deal, 8 and Keranen, 7, 8th and 9th. The ultimate prize, 6 points. As they head through turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. Nice little cluster of corners. It looks like Kerenen's catching up a bit. And just checking gaps behind. And in front about 3.5 tenths. And behind's about 4.3 seconds. And there's confirmation, 5 laps to go. So Hunsling just needs to cross the yard at bricks 5 more times. So through turn 12. Ratavar just slowly pulling away. It looks like he's just shaking off a bit of the slipstream there off of a deal. Through 13.
Deal has to worry about...
Oh, has he got a problem? I swear the car just lost a huge amount of pace through 13 there. And Karen is sewing up another one. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye. No problems for Deal, he just must have run wide. All good so far. And now Kerenen's got himself 4 points. It could be 6 the way he's going. And Hunsley's just crossed the line, 4 laps to go.
There he is.
What else is there to say? Davizioso, Sade, Lintner, all lap cars, and Vinyo's got to pass them all. If he wants to win this so desperately. Now we're just having a look at the positions. Kerenen's the biggest mover up. He's moved up 12 spots from his starting position.
Don't forget Stefan Berner there, up 7 as well.
Pablo Deal making a decent recovery as Vinyo locks up just a bit there.
Same with McNamara, he made a nice recovery after that, going off early in the race.
Yeah, he would be fuming with himself after this race. But otherwise, that's racing. But then you would have to ask yourself, what are the guys going to do for next season? As Ratavara?
Looks like Ratavara trying to selfie.
Yeah, he's trying to selfie himself. Keeping an eye on Kerenen at the same time. You may want to keep your eyes in front of you, mate. As we have 3 laps to go now.
Well, he's a Finn, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Well, Finn's a legendary in all forms of motorsport, I hear. So, I wouldn't doubt he has the ability to do so. But otherwise, Kerenen's catching him slowly. He's just under half a second. The question is, will there be enough slipstream? We'll soon find out. Over the yard of bricks. 2.5 tenths, I should say, up the inside. Has he got it? Yes, he is.
Yes,
goodbye, love. So Kerenen up to 7th. That'll give him 6 points now. McNamara 10th. I don't know if he's going to be moving anywhere else. Meanwhile, Hunsley around turn 13. 2 more laps to go. He's built up 16 seconds over his teammate. he just doesn't want to stop. He loves it in the car. There's Davizioso, Sade, Lintner, there's Renyaho.
Utsa in the background.
Yeah, we must not forget Utsa. He's put in a valiant effort to do as best as he can.
Especially on those Michelin tires.
Which, in turn, BRT are the only team to be using them.
big announcement during the week that 3 more tyre suppliers will be joining from next season, hopefully.
And oof.
Ooh.
What's this? McNamara. Has he got
McNamara
another
barbecue.
problem? Oh, he's got engine problem. So close to the finish too. He is going to be heartbroken. I just cannot believe it as he pulls off turn 1. Daniel Harvey's going to be taking... No, Rob Sharp will be taking the point. Can you believe it? After so long making the hard recovery, he must have pushed too hard to have that engine go. And there you have it.
Massive shame.
6th retirement for this race. Meanwhile, Hunsley's got himself a bit of a traffic problem himself. Let's hope he doesn't take himself out.
It
Not
looks
a
like he
chance,
won't.
Not a chance, he says.
And now Hunsley will come into the final sectors of the US Grand Prix. And if all goes according to plan, he will win this race. And he will win the championship. So, with the best part of 17 seconds ahead of his teammate Tapio Rinyaho, he'll get it. Not only that, DTK will get their constructors title. With the final corner to go, there won't be Sepang all over again. Jack Hunsley is going to come across the line then to win the US Grand Prix and the very first Formula FG championship. Not just for him, but DTK Toyota will win the constructors as well.
What a great stuff for the DTK boys as Rinyaho comes across the line to complete the celebrations. Benutza, 3rd spot, not too bad of an effort.
Best of the rest.
Best of the rest indeed. And speaking of which, Engbrink coming across the line to take 4th spot. And here comes his teammate.
Siglakis in 5th.
That'll be a good points haul as well. Here comes
Burner
Burner.
in 6th place.
He did a great job. Here comes Kernan, a nice late charge. Here comes
Ratavara just holding off deal.
Indeed so. Just chicken Rob Sharp taking the final point. Here comes Daniel Harvey. Best
First
of the
missed
rest.
out on points.
And then there's DeWalt now, 12th place. And that's the final of the finishers.
Don't forget the lap cars.
Yeah, we must not forget lap cars.
Rightio, so for the US Grand Prix, here are the official results. Jack Hunsley wins by 17 seconds from Tapio Rinyaho in a DTK 1-2. That seals both championships for the team that is licensed in Nauru, of all places, you wouldn't believe it. Ben Utsa does his best for BRT but can't take the 2 DTKs down, while Engbrink and Sigalakis have another good race for Speedy.
Stefan Burner for Intec doing a nice job in 6th place. And Kernan for 2KF1 for 7th place. Ratavara. Yeah,
Just holding off deal for 8th place, and Sharp completes the points.
Behind
Daniel
that,
Harvey.
we do have Daniel Harvey just outside the points, just ahead of Dewald Nell in the 2nd Evo GP. We have
And then come the
Okelsager,
lap cars.
Davizioso,
Davizioso, Said, Lentner, and McNamara just retiring with that engine failure, who will be classified.
Even though he
What a massive shame for him.
90% of the race. But then there's the hard luck stories of Sam Porro with tyre problems, a puncher, Tom Merritt with transmission problems, Matt Bailey just smashing it into the wall, and then Andy Black and Chaco with suspension problems.
Quick look then at fastest lap of the race. Of course it's Jack Hunsley's.
That goes to Jack Hunsley.
Jack Hunsley.
Quite
And
a large gap back to James McNamara. 2nd fastest lap, over half a second there. Now,
That could be the 2 stops into play there.
by all
Because
means.
both, yeah.
I'll have a quick look then. We have got Hunsley. There you can see the 2 laps coming relatively even. Fairly strong race for him. Zenford never really got going this race. He went backwards immediately. retirement was probably the nicest thing that could have happened. Rinyaho.
Well, he had a decent race, didn't he? Got
Dropped a long way back, but after that came back up.
He was on the first to pit, that's why.
He was the first of the one-stoppers.
Well, McNamara, that'll be an interesting one. That's a very sharp curve, sharp line all the way down, comes up, goes down, comes up
All the way
again,
back up.
goes down, and then
Back up.
rather sadly it just ends. Very
Just
So
short.
close.
Yet so far. But that's racing for you.
Looking back, we'll see Karen
Karen.
and Nal, both of them starting towards the back, both of them making a good leap forwards.
Both up, up, and away. So, yeah, and did a great job for 13 spots up.
Also,
And
Jack Pablo Deal started fairly well, went up a few spots, and then he just really maintained it and got himself to 9th position.
Indeed.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the US Grand Prix and both the championships. We do have one round remaining, but by all, it doesn't really count for much, it's just for pride. But a big thank you tonight to James McNamara and Milos Anchevsky for joining me today.
Yeah, not a problem. Anytime, man.
I think there's a bit of a problem there with Milos.
No,
Nonetheless,
it's not.
no.
Oh, just a bit of starstruck there.
Talking of Starstruck, I'll apologise if anybody was waiting for my beautifully sultry voice during the commentary, but trust me, the Americans absolutely love me, darling, and I had to go sign heaps of autographs outside the commentary box, so we'll see what happens next week. But talking of that, definitely be there next week. I guarantee it should be an absolute ripper of a race, and if it isn't, at least the commentary should be top notch, I guarantee it. Anyhow, that was the US Grand Prix. Congratulations to Jack Hunsley and congratulations to DTK Racing with Hunsley and Tapio Rinho and of course Jimmy Ladd as their manager on a great season, I'll say for it. By all means, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and good night.